Hi Otters, so this is a quick update of my last week. My focus have been more about simplicity following the book that I read last week and how to simplify things across my app. Not just content, but also the design and the flow. And in a way, it's kind of creating less hurdle and then less work for me to be done with better outcome, I hope. So that's been the focus. So I kind of find different alternatives to create my drop-down lists. Turned out that my original thought was too complicated, and sometimes, we don't really need certain stuff to do certain things. And I think we have the tendency to complicate stuff. The other thing is that thanks to Andrea, thank you for offering to review the narrative that I wrote for my app as a small story that all users will read when they log in. That's kind of like that kind of reiterate how important simplicity may be, and it's even harder for simplicity than to just put in all content you want, because it's actually kind of keeping the most valuable stuff and to know what you really want to deliver. So it's actually more thought required. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot, pondering. So it's quite fun. The other thing is that I got to spend some time to play with ChatGPT because it's a hot topic now, and it's just I know it's powerful. When I first played around a few weeks ago, I was like, okay, that's cool. But this week, I kind of put into more thought, as in what it can actually do, and the result can only be as good as the prompt that you put in. So there's now a new career called prompt engineering, which is focusing on supporting people to put in a more accurate prompt so that they can get the result that they want. So that is quite interesting as well. So I'll encourage people, probably because like we all wonder how AI may be replacing human, perhaps in the future, or probably just how we should interact with them. So I would encourage people to look into that, as in learn how to do prompt better, because I suppose in the near future, the search engine Bing, well, I think it's Bing has it embedded as well already, and there are extensions that you can use for Google to also have ChatGPT embedded in your search. And I'm sure Google will soon release their own version of it that actually works. And so, yeah, how we should, it's going to be revolutionary, as in how we search the information that we want. We got to be more accurate and pretty much get a comprehensive summary of all aspects if we want. But so while I was using ChatGPT, everyone, when they're using ChatGPT, they should find a line caught my attention, which is our goal is to make AI systems more natural and safe to interact with. And I just got curious, as in, what do you mean by safe to interact with? So I actually just asked, like, what measurements are in place for you to ensure safety from the user using it? So this is the reply. As an AI language model, I am designed to be safe to use by users, and I do not pose any direct physical or digital threats to users. However, my responses are generated based on the input I receive, and there's always a possibility that my response may be inappropriate or offensive. So based on, there's still 2 paragraphs if you type in the same question, but it just made me think that it's kind of just summarizing. ChatGPT is just summarizing the content that we have, so it doesn't free us from all the fake news or whatever. it's gonna be extracted as well. It may be extracted as well, like the fake news may be referenced as well. So we are, we use this tool, but at the same time, we still need to be skeptical, as in critical thinking, whether the reference is correct. So this is just something interesting that I came across. But what is good is that the second paragraph says that to ensure user safety, there are measures in place to filter out harmful or inappropriate content. For example, I'm designed to filter out offensive or harmful language, and I do not provide explicit or graphic content. Additionally, my training data is carefully selected and curated to avoid bias or discriminatory language and ensure that my responses are inclusive and respectful. So I suppose that there's still, there are measurements done in the background, but I'm not sure how fake news, whether ChatGPT can identify fake news from those that's not, or probably there's an algorithm for it. I don't know, but it's just interesting. It makes me think. And the third paragraph is that it's important for users to be aware that AI language models, include myself, are not perfect and may not always provide accurate or appropriate responses. Users should always exercise caution and critical thinking when interacting with any technology, including AI language models like myself. If a user encounters an issue or concerns while using an AI language model, they should report them to the appropriate authorities or service providers. So yeah, that's one. And I also it just makes me wonder, whether one day, they will kind of have their own opinion. So it's a silly question, but I ask a question and kind of force him to provide me with an answer. So this is the reply. As an AI language model, I cannot form personal opinions on ethical or political issues, nor can I provide a definitive answer to a question that is based on opinions or perspectives. However, in general, issues related to policy and social change involves complex trade-off and often require careful considerations of multiple perspectives and relevant factors. It is important to engage in open and constructive dialogue with others to gain a better understanding of the various perspectives and values at stake, and to work together to find solutions that are inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. So yeah, I think definitely interesting, because in a way, it's not gonna bias people's thoughts. But then that means that, ChatGPT isn't there to kind of correct people, or at least not actively there to correct people. So whatever you believe in, whatever the user believe in, I feel like it's not going to be changed by ChatGPT. I don't feel like, you don't know what you don't know. You don't believe in what you don't believe in if you're not challenged. Even when you're challenged, you're not willing to believe it. So I find it interesting. And so ChatGPT is a cool tool indeed, but I'm not sure whether it's going to solve the question that I care the most now, which is whether it can bring people closer to constructive discussion and understanding, or is it just gonna be another tool that's like all the other algorithms that's just gonna keep everyone in their own bubbles. Yeah, that's pretty much. And yeah, works are all good, and hopefully the beta testing can be released in end of March. So I'll need your help by then. So yeah, that's it for now. See you next week.